welcome to another edition of Sarah J. Pitt's business development show promoting her new academy, the book, her other book. Today, we're going to go over Weapons of Mass Inaction, right? My name is Gordon Wat. If you don't know who I am, I'm host of multiple shows, but anything to do with business, confidence, I always partner up with my team. Sarah, please introduce yourself and tell me what's been going on.
Hey, I'm Sarah J. Pitts. I am from the UK, as you might be able to tell, but I'm an international best-selling author of Stop Doing It All, and I am creator of the Potent Productivity Method. And the Potent Productivity Method helps solo business owners to ditch the overwhelm, successfully offload tasks, and simply focus on what it is that you love doing in your business. So I recently launched my academy. We're in week 2. We did week 2's training today. And so it's been a long time coming in the business world, is a different take on how you can understand who your audience is, what uniqueness you bring, all that kind of stuff.
No, absolutely. You're 100% right, because I went over the training that Sarah just promoted for her course with Academy. What she is, she breaks down, if you're overwhelmed, if you're stuck in a situation and you feel like you're an imposter and you have nothing to give, this is what the Academy is going to be for, because she breaks down everything from PDFs to everything. If you're in a business, if you're a solo entrepreneur and you're figuring out that you might be stuck in a situation, you could have all the tools, but if you don't have the confidence to do the things in your life, but most of you do have, that's embedded in you because it's your life. It's your situation. It's your turmoil. The beauty of it, Sarah's Academy pulls it all out of you in simple form, insightful, so that you can be proud of who you are and the mistakes that you did. I just did a post about self-doubt and reflection and how you get over it on some of my channels, right? Now, Sarah, explain to how this chapter 15 in the book, if you didn't get the book, please go down to stopdoingitallbook.com. Explain to the viewers what's Weapons of Mass Inaction, right? And how does the Academy put it all together?
Okay, so you know the little devil and the little angel that sit on your shoulders, those little voices in your head? I have cartoon characters that I call Wreck-It Rose. She's the little devil. She's telling you you're not good enough and you can't do it. And who do you think you are to be doing this when you've only been learning this for like 2 months or something? And Kick-Ass Katie is the angel. She's your biggest cheerleader. She's your confidence. She's the one that just lets you just get on with it anyway and see if it works. And if it all falls down in a big pile, then that's okay. The weapons of mass inaction are what I call the fears that stop people moving forwards with the business. They stop people taking action. And I call them weapons because that's Wreck-It Rose's way of stopping you. She wields these weapons in a really sneaky, really manipulative kind of way so that you don't even know it's happening half the time. We are hardwired to react to emotions first. So if we're having a bad day and somebody says, "How are you?" then you might fly off the handle because, and start yelling and screaming because you're having a bad day and you misinterpreted how somebody spoke to you, but your emotional reaction comes out first. And then they go, "Well, I was just asking how you are." You go, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm just having a bad day."
Yeah.
But that emotional reaction happens so fast that it's really difficult sometimes to get over it. And the emotions, they just play over and over and over in your head. Especially if you're second guessing something, if you're doubting yourself. One of the questions that I guess get asked all the time is, what's the best blank, right? It could be the best tool, it could be the best topic, it could be the best audience, it could be whatever it is, but what is the best, right? That is somebody who doesn't know who they are, what they're trying to achieve, and what value they bring, right? Okay. When we deal with the internal and we layer up our sense of self-worth and confidence against these weapons of mass inaction, which are basically just fears which stem from doubt, then when we layer up those confidence factors, we can eliminate those doubts and quiet that voice so that we can just react in a really positive way all the time, and we stop second guessing everything and we can just move forwards very quickly.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Because even though every business, every service, every offer, every software as a service deals with one thing, a person. You can B2B, this and that, whatever you want to talk about, it's going to be a person. And people are emotional beings, right? To deal with your own emotions, to portray a certain type of confidence, or that, like Sarah says in work, a massive inaction, you have to deal with your internal issues first. And what better than the academy that she just did, because she ran through a bunch of the clients that I've seen, because they don't realize they have all the tools, because they are the person that's going to create everything for them. It's just like chasing the shiny object, using this AI tool, using this thing. Because what do people want in business? They want attention, security, and know that I can get a result. It's not that hard. In Sarah's Academy, in the book, in the ecosystem that she has, she puts down in simplest terms so that you can gain that confidence, even if you think, walk me through explain how confidence starts with authenticity in the academy.
I think imposter syndrome is one of those things that we all deal with at various stages. So it doesn't matter if you're making millions of dollars, you see somebody else that's doing better than you and think, oh, I'm not as good as them, or they're gonna find me out that I'm not that good sooner or later. And it's doubt that creates that.
How does true confidence starts with the authenticity?
So authenticity is who you are at your core, right? It's not something you can choose. It's not something you can change. It's just who you are at the center of your being. And so many business owners, especially when they get started, they don't know what that looks like yet because nobody's taught them how to find it. So they go into, then they're picking avatar, for example. I've been an avatar coach for 4 or 5 years now, worked with hundreds of solo business owners one-to-one, trying to find their ideal customer. And the thing that comes back all the time is every time they choose an avatar, it doesn't matter if they have made hundreds of thousands of dollars in their business. They always feel like something's not quite right if they're not being authentic. And you can't be authentic, you can't be 100% yourself if the people that you're trying to talk to don't reciprocate that sense of fulfillment. I was in a situation most of my career, actually, when I was trying to put my business online. I was treating my sports injury business, I was treating triathletes, and they were kind of national level triathletes in the age groupers. And I thought, oh, well, this is the most logical audience for me to go after. So I was just like, okay, I'll go all in with triathletes. I'm not getting that emotional fulfillment that they might be getting from my help. Yeah. And that relationship is very one-sided. And that means to me that I can't be authentic. I can't be 100% myself if I don't feel that emotional fulfillment from that group.
No, absolutely, because there's no connection. There's a big disconnect because you can relate. You might, okay, your business mind and everything, your service mind might be, okay, I'm going to fix these people, I'm going to get them else. But they live, grow, breathe biking, pedals, chains, stuff. And then you're like, okay. It was like, but
I just did bike I've got.
Yeah, there's a disconnect, and that's not what business is all about. Especially if you're not passionate about pouring into somebody else. It's like a hairdresser, right? It's like you putting on a gi, you doing your katas and stuff. It's you have purpose with some sort of strain where you're going to have real technique to it. And that's part of it. Walk me through, in your book, the fears, right? You list fear of growth, fear of losing autonomy, fear of missing out, FOMO, fear of inadequacy, which is the ones, fear of criticism, all very good topics. Where do you separate? How do you steer the clients or the people in the academy right now to get over these fears? What do you tell them?
I don't tell them anything.
Oh, no, they do your own.
No, we go proof hunting.
Oh, proof hunting. That's the next. That's the next. In fact, that's this one too, right? You see that on the thing. You go proof hunting. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it.
And the reason for that is because if you're feeling fat or you've got a huge zit on your face or something like that, it doesn't matter how often somebody tells you you look fantastic. If you don't feel it, if you don't believe it, you will just ignore those words, right? People do not chase words, they chase feelings. So if somebody is being told to change their mindset, they might do it temporarily. It
Yeah.
might make a bit of a difference. But if they can change the beliefs about themselves,
Huge.
that makes such a big difference. So we go proof hunting in their lives so they can change the belief they had about themselves. I guide them in what to find, where to look, how to draw it out. But they find the proof in their own life.
Yeah.
Not like they're sharing their whole lives with the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are touching on sometimes painful points in their lives, sometimes really exceptional high points in their lives. But we look at it from a big picture point of view. So like a bird's eye perspective almost. So you're not living through those moments again. You're looking at it in a way like, okay, how can I use what I learned here? Why does my experience make me qualified and worthy of doing this and helping other people?
No, that's a 100% accurate statement to say because you need someone like yourself to guide people into doing things where you can get and use it to their advantage. Because it's not a, in fact, my post I just did kind of goes with this situation because when you look at business and people and how it all works, everybody has their own experiences they have to draw upon, whether it's like you said, painful, whether it's highlights, whether it's talking about, but the feeling of battery regret, it's almost like you're a business slash coach therapist at the same time. Right? Because even for me and my other service, with me and Doc, the therapist, we look for professionals that don't have a good home life at home. They can run a million, 5 million, Fortune 500 company, but when they get home, they just get ran over. The kids is all messed up, all this other good stuff, because the mistakes you made in your past in business is what makes you a better business person today. Look at you, look at me, look at everybody that we're touching our lives to. Because when you look at how the authenticity works with the productivity method, with all the ecosystem that you have, you can get over all these hurdles easily. Because you overcome self-doubt from your own experiences. You overcome imposter syndrome. And then when you see these guys light up and you go like, man, I do have more than I initially thought. It's just putting those pieces together like a puzzle. So let me ask you this now. How does authenticity become their greatest asset with the experience, and how do you bring it out of them to show forth? The proof finding.
The proof hunting.
Proof hunting. Yeah, proof.
How does it change them?
How does it change them? Because now that they have the authenticity that they can actually go for it, because they found it within themselves. What is the next step that you guide them to do when looking for the audience? People want to know what's the result after you work with you by doing this initial assessment.
Yeah. So when people have found the proof in their own life that they are worthy of doing what they're doing or what they want to be doing, then the next job is to find that sense of belonging in a little corner of the market, right? So they found that they are suitable, they're experienced enough, they've got a unique angle, they've got this, that, and the other. If they don't feel like they belong in the community that they're talking in, like I didn't with the triathletes, and I didn't with the personal trainers, and I didn't with the sports therapists, you don't get that fulfillment. There is only one group of people that you will ever feel like you properly belong to in business. And it's to do with who you used to be as a person and the emotional support you need now.
100% agree.
That's your group of people, because you cannot be 100% yourself. You cannot be 100% authentic if you can't ask for help, if you can't help somebody else, if you can't ask questions and be curious and have all of these elements of yourself on display to these people. Because otherwise you're showing them parts of yourself that you think that they need to see. You're holding back.
Yeah, holding back.
Yeah. But when you have a group of people who you can help, but you can also ask for help, that's where you belong as a human being in that group of people.
So because even with this week's projects, it's about finding belonging. Like you have in your PDFs, finding belonging. I'll give you a brief, let's say week 2 of the things that she's going through. In week 2 of the academy, you can be finding out, she's going to ask you, write down the version of your past self that you feel most drawn to helping, was what Sarah just said. It's a connection between who you were before, who you're helping, who you become, and they connect together, right? And she goes down this whole list of another one. Who else is going to go through right now? Because the community she has with all these clients and these people is also a tribe helping each, right? And this is where the academy that she has, that she's built, is just growing into one big, mass, potent productivity members in the academy who overcome these things. And, at the end, what's going to pop out? I already know what's going to pop out. You're going to have a bunch of business people that's confident. They overcame their self-doubt. They created their own tribe. They're going to make their offers. They're going to know how to do this because she instilled these things from an angle nobody else came up with, right? Where it might be a little, sure, each person is at a different phase of their business, their life and everything. But to see the support. So if you're looking for support in this aspect and you're looking for growth, and you're going to see me pop in and out of there because this is where a lot of the times you just need an action, right? Because a lot of times you need support, right? You need support, especially with the Productivity Academy. And if you want it, what's the wait list for that? What's the URL?
It's Potent Productivity
Wait list. That's where it is. Now, when you work with Sarah and the group, what are some of the dream results you think is going to happen?
Yeah, honestly, I know what I would hope happens. And my hope is that they get super clear on who they are, what their role is in the world, why they were put on the planet, who they can help and provide like a really purposeful, meaningful business to people. But already I'm seeing results in people that I didn't expect to see.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute, Sarah. You didn't think you would see the faces light up like they did? Okay.
Have made every mistake there is to make in business. I have spent a lot of years of my life talking to audiences that weren't interested in listening to me. So I have this lingering thing in the back of my head. Well, nobody's listening anyway. It's not going to work. That's Wreck-It Rose talking to me. These people in this particular training, I've had people go through trainings before and the light bulb has gone on and it's an incredible feeling. But this particular group of people are feeling this so deeply in themselves that I'm blown away with the reactions that they're having to what I'm saying. Because my experience has always been, well, it's been okay, but this is giving me a new experience to base my judgments on about myself and the conversations that I can have with myself. And like I said, I'm no different to anybody else. I have exactly the same emotions that everybody else goes through. And just because I can talk about them and help people overcome them doesn't mean to say they don't happen to me,
100%.
So, even just now, like nobody came to the training till 2 minutes before. And I'm thinking, well, that's it. They've all given up. They've all got something else to do. And then all of a sudden they all jumped in together, and that's just like, well, there you see.
That is kind of funny because you start getting those nervous feelings like, oh no, does this show up? I put this training up, I put us, and then people just, I seen them all. I was like, okay. And I was like, I had a sense of proud moment for you, honestly, because you put so much effort into this and so much passion to finding this out. And basically, when we do business, it's all testing things out. You have, yeah, because even like when you could have, even with what's going on in the world and all this stuff with AI, I keep testing things out and things are moving so fast that it's just hard to figure out. We're kind of nailing my tribe down with everything else. But how did Kick-Ass Katie, the opposite of Wreck-It Rose, change your perception?
Well, this is where the proof hunting comes in, right? Everything that we're doing in the academy is building layers of confidence. So we're finding that feeling of Kick-Ass Katie, right? We're not listening to Wreck-It Rose because we have that feeling of Kick-Ass Katie confidence. So when we can build those layers up week by week, bear in mind, we're only in week 2, and I finished up like 90 minutes ago with that training. The change that's happening already in these people is blowing my mind. And they now are starting to believe in themselves. They're starting to listen to Kick-Ass Katie much more than they are Wreck-It Rose. So by the time we finish the 8 weeks, then I think Wreck-It Rose would just be a little whisper.
What's going to happen is Wreck-It Rose starts out like this in the big Miz, and then you like anything else, the shift changes where the confidence, the kick-ass through. It's like that commercial, that cough medicine commercial where the guy gets smaller because of the cough medicine. It's going to be the same effect. Kick-Ass Katie is going to grow in confidence, in stature, in everything else. And Wreck-It Rose is going to be small. It's going to be obsolete. And this is where everybody's going to flourish and move forward, because that's where a lot of the what do you call that? Highlights or the aha moments is come, because now you create that momentum for each individual. And from the group that I see, the confidence level is going to be completing it all and then moving forward with whatever endeavor they have. Feedy, give a list of what type of situations that you see some of the clients are going through, some of the group, so that somebody watching this might say, I want to jump in.
Cool. I think most of us have noticed that we are carrying a lot of how we felt as when we were younger. And we're carrying it through our lives. But because we've never dealt with it, and because we didn't know how to use it or look at it or fix it, then it's infiltrating every single part of what we try and do in business.
Interesting.
But that emotional hole, that gap, that sense of lack in some kind of way is where Wreck-It Rose really digs her heels in. She likes poking that hole. She likes, there's a little monster that lives at the bottom of that hole, and she's trying to draw him out the whole time. But what we're doing is we're filling that hole in with everything that we're doing. And it's not that we're spending hours, contemplating or dragging people through trauma that they've had before or making them relive anything. We're just looking at it in practical terms so that we can do something about it and start to change the narrative of how you've been feeling.
Beautiful.
Right? You're creating a new experience for your body, for your brain, for your mind, so that you don't fall back into the same old habits. And if you do, you don't fall back there for long.
You can catch it, right?
Yeah, she's there to keep following.
Give me an example of one of the Academy members and how you fix them. Be the situation. You don't have to say the name, because I want to show that, okay, that somebody might be going through the exact same thing, and how you're able to kind of like not fix it, but have them understand that there's much more after this.
Yeah. One guy said to me today, he said, I realized from what you've just said at the end of the training that I've been compartmentalizing different aspects of my life,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Making money and, having fun and doing all these things. And he said to me, it's dawned on me that they're all part of me. And when I put them all in the same box, when you would do the whole thing together, it feels more authentic to me.
Yep. It's you because you're not separating everything and just trying to create a facade for this person, right?
You had to feel it.
You had to feel it, notice it. Beautiful. That's the best analogy of the day because once a person, this is what I tell a lot of my clients, right? You have to be able to internalize that same exact thing what you say. If you don't understand it, you haven't internalized it, you haven't experienced it, you haven't done that, and you haven't fixed it, a lot of the times it'll just go right over your head because you don't care. And it's the same like business. To me, business, sales, closing, offers should be fun and wrapped up in one big present, right?
Mhm.
It's not like, okay, like you said before, I got to do marketing, I got another video, I got to throw curveballs at Sensei Sarah, I got to do this, all one big shebang. But when you're going through the phase in your business, in your life, and you're not confident about yourself, and you don't internalize it, this is where things can go sideways, right? Is there another situation that stood out to you today after today's training? She does do training, guys. Get on the waiting list, right? The waiting list is going to be here at the bottom of the link down below. It's past the emoji, past the illusion.
I totally lost what you said. Say it again.
Is there another example that stood out to you besides the
Oh,
illusion?
yeah. Another guy said that he realized that the person that he feels most called to help in his life has the same emotional needs that he has right now.
That is deep.
Yeah. So he realized that his emotional hole, like that gap, has been following him his whole life.
No way. That is, I got to bring Doc on with you. That is deep because he understands the emotional turmoil that he's going through that he can help somebody else.
Mhm.
We following him along for all this time. Because even like I keep telling people, marketing, sales, closing, it's all emotion and people and relationships. Of how you look at it. How does it make you feel, Sarah? Knowing that you're making a big impact with your academy.
Yeah, it would be easy to get overwhelmed by the emotion, but actually I feel really peaceful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You're
Fighting yourself. Yes.
I'm not fighting myself. I'm being 100% me. And
Yes.
people are really excited to hear it. And then when they hear it, it's changing them for the better. It's helping them move forward with the problems that they were having. People say helping other people is the most selfish thing you can do, really, because it's that a lot of people just do it for that sense of fulfillment. But it's more than that. I can't really describe it. This is where words really are terrible and they just get in the way.
I mean, you had a long day, but it's like this. You're pouring into these people, being yourself. You're not struggling. You're not fighting internally who you are emotionally, from your heart, physically. So it's just flowing. Right? It's like me do with my nonprofit, the nonprofit that I talk with. The parents, I've been doing it for 10, 11 years already. It doesn't stop. They always give me because of the fulfillment you get. It's because you're able to pour into somebody and help them in the direction that they was just clueless about. But then a lot of the times is that's fulfillment in itself to get you to more creativity on your end to provide even more insights.
Absolutely.
That's what the business is all about. It's not about buy, sell high, get a service, force these things in because when you're solving a problem and you're giving a person a dream result that they didn't even know they could do, because I can't wait where they have the confidence to move on to see what they become after.
Oh, yeah. That's so exciting for me.
That's
It's funny that one of the ladies who was in the training, she'd been a friend of mine for a while, and we've had discussions about her ideal customers and all that kind of stuff before. And she said to me after today's training, she feels she knows where she fits.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
But all of a sudden it just clicked. It's like, oh, that's the people for me.
That's all it takes. Because, you know, with the noise that's out there, with the training, I mean, most of them with the training we've been through, mentors, same
Yep.
groups.
Yep.
Be honest, isn't it? It's like, this is why I pulled myself away from everything. Because I had to kind of like, okay, I had to go find not just myself, but where do I fit in, right? And that's part of the growth process. Let me ask you this last question before. Oh my goodness, holy smoke, we went for 50 minutes. I mean, this is almost like, what is next week's problem that you see, and how are you going to get them the dream result? And we'll close with that.
Next week,
Direction.
yeah. So we found worthiness, right? We found our ideal group of people, right? So we found belonging. Now we're going to look at how we are unique in the world.
Explain, please. Explain for the viewers watching this on a replay, because some of them not even grasp the steps, the belonging, the audience, the value you bring to the world. Right? How is that different from just telling somebody?
Because, again, your uniqueness is something that's just you.
Yes.
Is the way that you've been doing stuff your whole life that you don't even realize other people don't do, right? And that's honestly why I wrote the book that I did. It's Only Common Sense to You.
Correct.
Right? Because I've had this conversation so many times recently. Like, people don't understand the value in their process because they don't even know what that process is.
Number one.
You have a process until you know what the end result's supposed to be. Because you can make a process out of anything. Next week, I will be talking about making a process out of making a cup of tea. We've spoken about this before. The process of making a cup of tea is the same for everybody, give or take a few steps. So uniqueness starts with similarity. And it's a process that's like to a lot of people, because how can I be unique if I'm the same as everyone else?
You just modeling, duplicating, and it's a uniqueness with the belonging and everything. It's similar to the situation what's going on with the AI world, right? Everybody got tools. We have what they call an AI gold rush going. Everybody's got the tool. Everybody's looking at the big mountain. Everybody's got a startup. Everybody's got a thing. Sarah hit it on the head, guys. If you're watching this on a replay, you got to have your own workflow that's unique to you, that's going to make it work with the tools that you have. Who's getting rich right now? Not the person that's creating all the minds and everything else. It's the person that's going to create the workflow for other people to use. That's where it's all coming down to. It's the workflow, the work that's unique to the situation that you got going on for you, yourself, and your clients and the audience that you're teaching. I haven't put on the gi in 20 years.
It's been a while for me too.
But this is because, guys, each week we will be going over the Potent Productivity Academy, the book, all in this ecosystem to find your self-worth. Leave a comment. Guys, go to Sarah J. Pitt's business development page and her YouTube channel. Hit that like, leave a comment, click a link. Leave a comment. If you have a problem with your business, please go on to Facebook. Please leave a comment. We have answers. And it's going to fit in. Sarah, close out the show, please. Because
well, as always, Gordon, I really appreciate your time. I really enjoy having these conversations with you. And if you are struggling or you feel like you've been running around in circles for ages, then because you can't seem to settle on anything, maybe you've been spinning your wheels, maybe you feel like you've not enough hours in the day, then you can go get the book at stopdoingitallbook.com. You can join the academy at potentproductivityacademy.com/wait. But yeah, just leave comments, give us your questions. We really enjoy answering them. And thank you for listening.
all right. Guys, we'll see you next week, Tuesday, same time, after the trade.
As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to get on the waiting list because we go in depth to finding solutions.